Hello and welcome to another Zelda 1 Randomizer random percent tournament race. This is game 3, deciding match between Kingdahl and Nochibato. I'm John Tabin. Joining me on commentary is Magic Friends. Good day, sir.
Good day. How are you doing today?
I am well. Our restreamer today is CD Improv. Doing tracking for in the background for us is Drashya. A couple of exciting matches between these two. Before the series, they both agreed to turn on shapes dungeons, so all dungeons will be random shapes. Kingdahl lost game 2. The loser's remorse flag that he turned on was no boomstick, so we will not be buying a book today.
Both these runners had really crazy games. Game 2 was especially wild as Kingdahl was led on a huge goose chase trying to find silver arrows that were not where he was told. So he is out for revenge today to try and move on to the round of 16. This is the winner's side bracket, so we will see these racers again later on in the tournament, no matter what happens today.
Yes, the winner moves on to face. I think that's already been decided.
The winner is playing Crimson Avix in the next round.
Yeah, and
the loser gets to play Lack Attack.
Not before I do.
Oh, maybe I have that. I think
loser plays Alan. The loser plays Alan Heffley, and the winner of my race on theirs plays each other.
Okay.
So we're off. We're starting with 8 Triforce pieces. We have everything except for level 8.
And we start with Recorder. Recorder's whistling over to the coast. We actually have 7 Triforce pieces. Oh, yeah.
So 7. Yeah. Did I say 8? Yeah. All but 1. Oh, and it is going to... Now, did it take him to level 8? Or did it...
Took him to the coast door.
Right. Well, it took him... It's definitely to new dungeons one way or another. But the question is, did it take him directly to unbeaten, or did it take him to beaten dungeons? Because if it's beaten dungeons, then it'll get him everywhere except level 8. If it's unbeaten. Oh, and...
right. And with the question mark there, we don't know if he blew the whistle to the left, he either went to 7 or 8, and he might be digging 7 for no reason.
Yeah, well, we'll see what he finds in here. He's saving. It is a green palette, so if it's unshuffled palettes, it's 7.
There was Garias in there, so that might also have tipped him off that this was a 7 if the enemy sets were.
By the way, Nochi just found the ladder under the Armos. Or was someone found the ladder?
Yeah, Nochi's got ladder out of the Armos statue.
Yeah. All right, now Kingdahl just found a gray dungeon. If it is unshuffled palettes, that's where he wants to be. Now we don't know yet, but it's a good chance that's the dig.
But he's gonna need to find a sword, really, no matter what.
Yeah, a sword or a hockey stick, as the case may be. Kingdahl, former world record holder and still second place in NES ice hockey. This sprite he's playing with was done by a relatively new member of the community named Nestrog. If you are interested in sprite editing, the Nestrog just posted a tutorial on editing sprites in the sprite editing channel on the Z1R Discord, so check that out if you'd like to play around with that. The wood sword is not in the vanilla wood sword cave, so we're going to have to look further.
Nochi also finding his level 7, but also decides to nope out of there. Just a heart on the coast.
Grabbing that coast heart.
It is bringing us to beaten dungeons. So that must have been 7, because that whip-sold him all the way back to that small dungeon Nochi had already seen.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was unbeaten, it would only go one place. So, but I do think that open potion shop gray dungeon was probably 8. So once we find the sword, that's probably our next stop. Is recorder block wood sword possible? I don't think so. I think that can happen if the recorder is either the Armos item or it's the coast item with the ladder as the Armos item. But I don't think that wood sword block flag takes into account starting items. I think it only takes into account items available on the overworld.
So now Nochi is seeing his 8. I don't think he can keep going through it, but and Nochi finding another dungeon, orange dungeon. That looked is orange 6. I want to say that was 6 palette.
Yeah, I have trouble telling immediately whether it's 6 or 4, but it's one of those for sure. Because they're both gold. I think there's a slight difference in the accent color, but I can never remember.
I'm gonna guess that's 6 because Nochi just whistled backwards from 7 and hit that dungeon. So
makes sense.
We have one dungeon on the coast.
Yeah, so
that is not open.
So their level 8 was in the open potion shop, which was near their start, and they both found it. And the recorder is taking them to all the other dungeons if they need to go digging for items. So the only thing they left to find is the wood sword and level 9.
Well, I think this play by Nochi is really smart. He's using the whistle just to get to different open doors across the map. So, like, if a whistle maybe puts him in East Death Mountain, that's an open door that he's going to be able to access that Kingdahl probably won't get to for a while if he's just walking.
Nochi also going ahead and buying a candle. We haven't seen the wood sword cave or the take any, so we don't know if there are free candles around. But having the money and being in a shop, bird in the hand, it's nice to get that right away.
Yeah, like this one whistle brought him up to 3 open caves now, and it pays off. The potion shop, the potion letter has the wood sword.
Yep, yeah, the letter cave, yeah, and yeah, so Nochi first to the sword. Let's see where he goes next. Whistles to the coast dies. That may actually be convenient ultimately because their start screen's not far from 8, and yeah, we haven't gotten a good sense of the overworld quest yet. But open caves are the priority when looking for a sword. So, and Kingdahl is in the northeast now, so he should find his sword pretty soon.
Kingdahl also having exactly 60 rupees, so he's able to pick up his candle.
Yeah, buying the candle in exactly the same shop, and
Nochi seems to be confused about that.
Yeah, he may not have
read.
He may not have read the what we think is 8, so he's looking around at others.
All right, Kingdahl has a stick, and he's ready to go. So Nochi is going into this dungeon.
Which is probably level 1.
0 HP enemies, it looks like. Those are Blue Gurias that either rolled -4 or...
And permanent sword beams. But he was able to fire his sword on 0 health. Nochi grabs a key out of there and saves. Maybe there was a key lock in 8. Maybe that's why they're going to other dungeons first. I don't know.
So Nochi's going to make what looks like our first dive into 8 itself. And we don't know if we have second quest enemies. I think Nochi killed those just a little bit too fast for us to check that out yet. But that is a key there. If this wall to the left here doesn't bomb, then you do need a key to get in. Oh, it's a secret passage, so we have second quest walls on.
Nice.
The runners will definitely be remembering that, as that already trolled them once this round.
I did it. That was a major troll in one of the TA Shaddy matches. They had a second quest wall that determined the winner, and they'd seen exactly one for the entire race up until then.
Yeah, it also happened in their seed. They saw about 3 walls, but the first wall they found was also, as soon as you're like, oh, I finally found the way, and then there was a ladder block behind it, and neither had the ladder. So.
Yeah.
All right, we definitely don't have second quest enemies because these ropes are squishy.
Yeah,
and not flashing.
Yeah, I think they're all 0 HP. Nochi's seeing a heart in the basement. We've already seen a heart on the coast, so heart shuffles on for sure. There could be items on the floor in slots that are normally just dungeon hearts. So Goma with over a push block. I wonder if that's an item block. We've seen one basement, but there could be another. Of course, there's also a transport stair somewhere in 8, so. And it could just be nothing.
It's a compass. Ooh.
Ooh. And that compass lights up the final piece of the Triforce.
But it's not a way to pass. Oh, if that Goma blocks blocking
if that Goma blocks
there.
the transport, it's the only way. Wow.
Yep, that's it. That Goma's blocking the transport. We need a bow and an arrow just to get to the 8 Triforce.
Fantastic. So we're not going to have a jet seat, it looks like, despite having so many Triforces to start with. Although they can whistle straight to dungeons, so we'll see. I think if I'm Nochi, my first play is to go back to level 1, which he's already seen at the Armo screen, and see if we got vanilla items.
It looks like he's come back to, I'm going to say 2. This looks like 2.
Looks like a, assuming, I mean, it's shapes, so, but assuming on shuffled pallets, this is 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because they've shaped, if pallets are unshuffled, then shapes take the first quest pallets.
Oh, yeah, 2 would be more blue colored.
Yeah. In second quest, 2 is green and blue, and 3 is blue. But shapes always follows the first quest logic for stuff like that.
All right, Kingdahl just found his ladder, so he's ready to go. Nochi's finding a heart container in the bottom of 3. Mm-hmm. Now, you know that shuffle's on now. You've seen 2 hearts in the bottom. So do you stay in 3 for the 1 item that's left, or do you switch to a different dungeon and go diving someplace that has a higher percentage?
Well, having seen the hearts in the middle, you also know that item shuffle. So, like, you know, you're not necessarily going to find the bow in 1. And 3 isn't very big, so scoping out that floor item might be worth it.
There are 2 key blocks already, though, in this dungeon. I don't know if you want to spend your last key to go through here and then maybe see another key north.
Yeah, I mean, you usually find keys in 3, but shapes is funny. Sometimes the dungeons that give you a lot of keys, they eat them all up, so always a consideration.
So we do have a mixed quest overworld, because that's
that lake is the first indication the second quest stuff is on, so definitely mixed, because I'm pretty sure we've seen some first quest only spots.
You get the sword from the old man on top of the waterfall. Huh.
Yeah, that's a vanilla hint in level 3. So that doesn't actually mean anything for the seed, except that hints are unshuffled, and also not worth buying because the hints will be go up the mountain and the directions for the Lost Hills.
Kingdahl's still on the overworld. I don't know if he's been back into 8 yet or not. But I feel like he's got to get an 8 and get this information that he needs. He keeps teleporting over towards the 7.
Well, I think he's probably prioritizing trying to find 9, which, I mean, the information that he needs, the bow, and is going to have to dive dungeons is he'll get it eventually. And but I do like Nochi's position better, just because you're probably going to find 9 along the way somewhere. Just so. Based on the size and palette, this looks like level 6. Kingdahl stares at it, but doesn't dig.
So now Nochi's got up to 3 keys digging that left side. The left side didn't give him any items, so it looks like he's gonna have to come back down here, spend one of these keys to go to the right side of this dungeon, and hope that that'll feed him the floor drop.
Yeah, we did see a Triforce in a Triforce room. Let's see if we see a item drop in a desert room, because that would. I didn't notice where the compass was, but that would tell us. Was the compass in a? Well, I don't even know if that trap room preserves the traps or not. If that's part of the room layout, so.
I honestly wouldn't know what room the compass has drops in 3.
Well, it's And anytime someone goes bottom route in the speed run, they walk through the compass room, but it's traps and keys in an open room. But I don't know if the traps matter to the room layout.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So,
but a lot of got extra reverse C's in this 3.
Another heart on the ground, so that's it for 3.
Yeah,
and that was not a floor drop room. So
yeah, that reverse C is a key in the vanilla game with three Zols. So despite seeing a Triforce in the Triforce room, that's not going to tell them where the compasses and floor items are.
And we saw this in the first round, where Nochi was more willing to go in small dungeons and dig them out quickly, whereas Kingdahl was more likely to go into some of the larger dungeons and make a slightly riskier play, but to dig out something harder.
Yeah. Well, Kingdahl's in 8 now. He's found his ladder, and which so he's gonna spend a little bit of time in here, but he's gonna find what Nochi found, which is that there's a Goma blocking half the screen.
We found the recorder as the floor item in 2, so there's one other floor item we're looking for.
So Kingdahl, seeing that Goma, he will clear these ropes, see the heart container in the basement. And then in a couple rooms, he's going to discover there's no way to go except for through that Goma. He should find the compass that tells him which wall to try first. But...
And the book is our other item in 2, so 2 is also a dead.
Yeah, 2 had the items they started with, so total waste of time.
And so Kingdahl sees his recorder, or sees his compass, comes back over here, bomb south, cry a little bit inside.
He'll check that last room and we'll see. Yeah, it's the Goma. And there's another Goma in there, just in case you forgot what the problem in this level is. Here's a reminder. So let's go find a bow. Both our runners now see the choke point in the seed.
Nochi's finding a transport in this. I don't know what color palette this would be. Is that a 5 color?
1.
That's a 1 color?
Yeah.
Kingdahl finds the wand. So like we said before, Kingdahl likes going into the bigger dungeons. He finds the wand really quickly, which is going to help his combat.
Yeah,
he's going to have ranged combat to kill things.
Yeah, I think
now everything's one-hit KO, so that's not a huge deal, but being able to do it at range will help.
Yeah, and I think Kingdahl's in... Ooh, Nochibato finds the Aniki. That's a pretty helpful find. I think Kingdahl's in 4. He found the wand in the... maze that has the compass in the vanilla game, I think, and he finds the compass in the compass room as well. There are 2 map rooms right next to, or 2 maze rooms right next to each other. Of course, he already has the level 4 Triforce, but there is a basement item somewhere in here, and it's not too big. So, and he knows he needs the bow, so makes sense to dig. And Nochi's play makes sense as well. He's there are up to 3 items in level 4 because of heart shovels. So. Or in level 1 because of heart shovel, so I like where Nochi. If between the two of them, I'd rather be Nochi right now, playing the odds.
Yeah, since the combat's not really a huge difference, the wand's nice, but there's a lot of times he probably won't even use it since we have sword beams. I forgot that we had sword beams permanently on as well. So
yeah,
really, the wand is just a fancy version of your sword that doesn't hit dark nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen a major boss fight. So.
And we started with book, so the wand also produces fire for no reason.
Yeah. So even for boss fights, it might be a little annoying to use, but so. Kingdahl sees a heart in the basement of 4, and Nochibato sees the magical boomerang in the basement of 1.
So it looks like Nochi's out of 1, and he's going to find another spot to go to.
Did Nochi see a floor heart in there, or did he leave 1 item behind? Or what potential item, I should say. I'm not sure. He's up to 7 hearts, so he may have grabbed the floor heart in there.
All right, now we have a bit of a hi-fi here.
Chat confirming Nochi did get that heart in 1, so he's done in 1, and 1 was also a dead end. Now, I'm wondering what Kingdahl's still doing here, because he's seen the wand on the floor and the heart container in the basement, right?
Yes. He may not have identified that the colors are on.
But I mean, even if but he's already identified. Surely he knows that if he doesn't, he sees the Triforce isn't lighting up, so he knows it's not 8. So unless he thinks that pallets are shuffled and this is 1, I can't imagine.
The only other thing I can think of is he might be confused at whether or not 4 would have a 3rd item like it does in Second Quest, but that's a stretch.
Yeah, he could just be digging for keys. But he does have 2, so I don't know. I'd whistle to the next dungeon at this point. Maybe he just doesn't. He thinks he just doesn't have that many rooms left, so might as well grab the keys out of there.
Nochi, unfortunately, not going in that far left room towards the top, so he's not going to find the wand until he pretty much full clears this dungeon.
Yeah, which is good news for Kingdahl because Nochi's sinking just as much, because of the way he routed it, he's sinking just as much time into the dig. Wonder if Kingdahl's moving so fast he forgot to mark down where he picked up that wand. And Heart Shovel can mess up your tracking too. So.
Yeah, we talked about this in the after race chat of their last seed, is that Nochi is very thorough with his tracking. He takes a lot of time, and you may see him like pause a lot when he enters into a room, and he said specifically, I will put my controller down to make sure that I track correctly, because I'm more fearful of losing time to mistracking something for 5 minutes than I am of taking a bop when I walk in a room. And Nochi finds his wand and is out of 4. So Nochi's got he's got a 3 dungeon lead on Kingdahl, but since we're just in an item hunt, it's all about who gets lucky here.
Who gets to the bow first. Now, if Kingdahl does the logical play and does the little dungeons first, then he's going to be covering ground that Nochi's already tapped out. So, see if he does it that way or not.
That's a push block for Nochi, and it's where our transport case. Yeah, Compass does actually eliminate a whole room that we don't have to go into unless it forces us. Ooh, and that wall to the right didn't bomb, so there's a good shot this push block actually just puts us in a one-off room in that top right, in that right-hand corner there.
This looks like level 5. Spectacle Rock as an entrance to death is a hint from level 8, although something about the way shapes plus vanilla hints works sometimes they shuffle out of their dungeons. Someone explained it to me the other night.
We might have 0 HP enemies, but walking in from the top in a patcher room, that'll get you killed no matter what HP it is.
Yeah, and patchers are funny. The satellites take the quote-unquote normal enemy HP, and the middle takes the boss HP. So in this case, they'll be squishy on the outside and maybe not in the middle. But when it's the other way around, it doesn't. It's like the 0 HP boss flag didn't really help with them. But.
So we are going to have to cut through this Triforce room with a walkthrough wall. Nochi's doing a good job of clearing out these dungeons really quickly. They're just not... A lot of it's just not paying off for him.
Let's see if this does.
Oh...
Well, if Ganon's required, that's going to be useful.
It also means that Red Ring and Silver are shuffled into our overworld, so we could have anything.
It also means Nochi doesn't have to buy wood arrows to take care of that Goma and 8. So So at worst, it saves him 80 rupees. So
well, it saves him the time to go find an arrow shop too. I don't know if we've even seen one.
Yeah.
We've had very few overworld bombs spots blown up or things of that nature. So, that's weird. It looks like that bottom right-hand corner has to have the item, and Nochi couldn't find a way into it. And Kingdahl finishing up his one exploration here. He's seen him go into the boomerang room, and he's picked up his. I think he's just waiting to pick up his heart at this. He's got to get the any key real quick, and then he'll find a heart.
I didn't see if he'd gotten to the heart container yet or not. He's either way, he's opting not to keep digging. And yes, the one Triforce they need is in level, and the level 8, and they have the compass in level 8. They tried to bomb the wall; it did not bomb. The only way is a transport that has to be under a Goma.
All right, so Nochi finds the raft in 5. So that's going to be it for 5. It looks like we're going to 6.
Kingdahl picking up a heart container in a take any cave. If he comes across the white sword item, that'll guarantee he can pick it up. See, up to 6. And Nochi will also be able to pick whatever that is up if he finds it.
That is a good point. We are starting to run out of items, and neither player has seen the white sword. So there's a shot that the bow has the white sword item.
Yeah. And neither of them have seen 9 either, so both of them will continue to dig overworld. But since they have 7 Triforce pieces and recorded to new beaten dungeons, digging items is fastest right now. Yeah, we do have a mixed quest overworld, so level 9 could be blocked by the recorder, the power bracelet, or the raft.
All 3 of those Nochi has figured out, and with Kingdahl going to this level 5, he's probably going to find it out soon too. So we're not really going to have any overworld blocks that are going to stop us. It's just going to be finding that bow.
Right.
Kingdahl making the quote correct play and heading towards the southwest, the south side first. So he's going to actually gain a little ground here. A little bit of a reflex move. He sees all the blue dark guts. He's like, oh!
Well, I think the bomb hole, it's very easy to get sucked into the bomb hole. If you stand next to it, it works different than a normal door. It'll actually just pull you in, so it's very easy to do that by accident.
So we saw a heart in the basement of one of the 6s. So now we're looking for the floor item in 6, as Kingdahl is now looking for his floor item, which I believe is also a heart out of 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Serger, Nochi has just a bit of a lead, but this is all just about like how quickly can they route these dungeons and who figures out the correct answer. Because if someone finds the bow before the other person, they're in a huge lead.
Now, presumably, Kingdahl is going to keep digging and find this silver arrow in the basement. So that won't be decisive unless he gambles and leaves.
Oh, that's right. There's a silver arrow in 5. So,
so really, it's going to be who finds the bow, who finds level.
Okay, 6 is heart and red ring. So 6 is dead. We're on 7, or I believe we're up to either 7 or the white sword item. At this point, I almost look for the white sword item since I still need to find 9 too.
Yeah, that's a yeah. I mean, Nochi's choosing to jump right into 7, so.
Oh, Goma immediately as you come in 7 in a room that could push. That just kind of sinks your heart. All right, Kingdahl's got his silver arrows. He's out of 5, ready to move on to 6. So Nochi has about a 1 dungeon lead in exploration, but just depends on what routing that Kingdahl takes, whether or not that actually makes a difference.
Kingdahl actually going to 2 now. Oh yeah, he hasn't done this yet.
Yeah, he's got a couple of the smaller dungeons that he still can make up. So we're gonna have to see how much extra time those explorations take from him as well.
Yeah, if you go in the direction of the arrow, it's actually a second quest hint. So some of the vanilla. It's just weird seeing the vanilla hints shuffled into the randomizer, and they're not any more helpful.
Kingdahl lighting the breadstick on fire. We want a cooked breadstick. We don't want raw dough.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 is a real troll because it's the exact items they started with.
I don't know if he's figured out that this is 2 yet. He's still pushing the blocks as well. But then again, he might just be thinking...
Yeah, with shapes, you're always worried about. I mean, its book is Atlas as well, so he has the map, so he knows that there isn't a fourth segment, but you still... Sometimes, just in case. Now, where do you find the tip of the nose in this shape 7? The nose looks broken to me.
Yeah, Josh, yeah, it does look kind of like almost like either a power drill or possibly like Zap Brannigan's beam gun. All right, so we found the other half of that transport case.
Kingdahl, so on the book, I don't know why he's not just grabbing the Triforce and getting out. He has the NE key. There's not much else this dungeon can do for him. He may be thinking full clear everything. I wonder if he's just if his philosophy is just don't track and clear everything and make sure you see every room just in case for the information. But if so, I don't really understand the play. Oh, maybe he hasn't read that this is 2. We've seen 2 4 items. He's done here.
Well, I have noticed that Kingdahl's been having a little bit more trouble using his recorder to get to the places that he wants to get to. So
he
might have his numbers shuffled in his head on what dungeon is going where. And if that's the case, he may think this is 1 and that he's missing 1 more item somewhere in here. And I think he just figured it out. Like, he came back to this room to push that block. He is. It looks like he's looking for a push block because he thinks this is his level 1.
Yeah.
And the recorder, especially when you have multiple flags that are changing how the recorder works, it can get very confusing as to where that recorder is supposed to do things with. You could just get kind of turned around. All right, so now he's into his 3. 3 should be netting him a bunch of hearts. So that should catch him up on the heart count with Nochi.
But not actually catch him up with Nochi in any meaningful sense.
This 7 is really trolling Nochi. It's just not giving him that second item that he needs.
Yeah. I mean, Kingdahl's best hope now is that the bow is white sword item, and he does overworld exploration before digging 7.
So Nochi found these 2 transport staircases kind of back to back. He's hoping this one will take him into the segment in the bottom right corner. And there's the bow in the segment in 7.
All right. So Nochibato definitely in the driver's seat now. It's gonna take Kingdahl a while to get into that room.
And Kingdahl is going into 6 first, so...
He'll get his red ring, but not going to get him any closer to the end.
And again, this isn't over by any means. With the 0 HP enemies on, Kingdahl can clear this very quickly. Nochi did spend a lot of time in 7, and he saw that transport case much earlier than he took it. So Kingdahl can definitely make up time here by just taking the right route in 7, and also by finding level 9 on the overworld first, because we still haven't seen that either.
We haven't found 9, and we know it's a shapes 9, so it could be a long dig. So yeah, it's certainly not over, but you like Nochi's chances better at this point because he just killed that Goma. And he's gonna...
Yeah, watch this put us in like that top left corner.
Yeah, watch there be like a...
I
was trying to think of a block he couldn't get. He actually has all the items that would kill anything else that would, cross a river.
The block he couldn't get through would be, I have to walk through this whole dang thing.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a straight shot over to the Triforce room from that transport. So once they get their bow, it's just go, go, go. Bishop pointing out, we still have not seen Meat Block yet. So there's always a shot.
Yeah, with shapes, you can end up with the Meat Block in 9. Oh, we saw it in 7, where people saying.
All right, so now it's... Oh, hey, look, you could have just bought it. You could have just picked up a candle. But no, she's going to grab his potion. He doesn't know how many of these shops he's going to find. He's going to want the potion first, just in case something gets hairy in 9.
Oh, was that...
Yeah, that bird bush protected the candle, so the candle was blocking a candle bush.
So it was a red candle or the...
Just one of the take any's that had a candle in it. But...
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we still haven't seen the white sword item, and I think it has to be red candle or or Power Bracelet.
We haven't
or Heart
seen
Container.
Lord Knit Banana yet.
Oh yeah, Wood Boomerang, Red Candle, Power Bracelet, and
Or the White Sword.
Or the White Sword. Could just be the White Sword. So, the reason I wondered is someone brought up a good point in chat, is level 9 under a Power Bracelet spot. Given that the Power Bracelet is not shown in it, I'm starting to think the Power Bracelet might be in level 9, in which case it can't be Power Bracelet block. So, but
yeah, unless the Power Bracelet was in 8, then that can't be under a Power Bracelet. Now,
important items.
I don't know if either of the runners are going to figure that out, but oh, it's in the tree at the dead end. We should have known that. And since we have a mixed quest overworld, we have to check all the second quest stuff, all the first quest stuff. Like, this is going to open. Nochi don't even need cash right now. 200 rupees. He's perfectly fine to just go this. We've got 3 spots in this graveyard to check.
I think at least one of them tried the push blocks, but I don't think either of them. Oh, they started with the recorder, so maybe they did everything. Maybe one of them did everything, and Nochi hasn't done any of it. I can't remember now. Yeah, that must be Kingdahl. Must have been the one who did the graveyard.
Yeah, Kingdahl went into the graveyard for a little bit. Kingdahl pushing through this 7. Like, if you're a Kingdahl fan, you want to see him find this transport, then immediately take the first transport that he sees. That'll help him catch up a little bit in his exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially since we had the recorder to start with. So much of this overworld is unexplored. Just something as simple as Kingdahl deciding to go like, oh, I went to the Lost Hills and it was the second or third spot I burned. Could catch this back up to, could put this right back into an even heat.
Kingdahl got bopped into the middle of the room at the end of that Gliok fight, pausing to look at his menu, trying to figure out if he got anything. It's actually the other Gliok has the bow just standing in the room. So keep digging.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out if he actually picked something up off of that.
Yeah.
I think it was a key.
Yeah, it can be a real troll when when something is on the floor like that and you get bopped into the middle of the room and you're not sure what you got. So
level 9 is up on Death Mountain, just in that one bomb spot that's like on the far left hand side of the screen where the Lionos usually are.
Yeah. This is the gaps in this shapes level 9 are interesting. It's sort of divides it into sections. So we'll see how complicated it is to explore.
And remember, we are looking for either a shutter door that pops open while enemies are still in the room, or a shutter door that doesn't open at all, and then if we find the shutter door that doesn't open at all, we need to find Ganon and kill him. Now, both runners have silvers and bow, so that's not going to be hard to kill Ganon. We're not going to be digging out for silvers in 9 like we have been a lot. They just have to find the pig and pop him in the face.
Well, you say both runners will have bow by the time they get to 9 because it's required to complete 8. Kingdahl's still looking for it.
Right.
But assuming he doesn't leave 7, he'll find it. It's 50-50 whether Ganon is Oko is one hit or so Nochi did that. If Ganon's not one hit, then Nochi's white sword pickup will certainly be valuable.
It's also 50-50 whether Ganon or... Oh, so we have a Ganon fight. Ganon is in his room, which means Princess is also going to be in her room, most likely. That means that the only way to access the Princess is going to be from the south going north.
Yeah, and it is one-hit Ganon, so Nochi chops him down real quickly. Now he just needs to find the pig, and he takes the series.
So one good indicator for Nochi is going to be, is there any spots that maybe it looks like he should be able to keep going here, and it just doesn't let him, like a room that normally would have a bomb wall to the south and can't get in, or a bomb wall to the east or west and can't get in. That's going to give him a good hint that I need to go around and check that from the south to see if Zelda's there. It's like a lot of these spots did not allowed him to go south. None of those spots that allowed him to go south could ever be Zelda if she's in her room.
Oh, and Kingdahl has the bow, so he's out of 7, and still doing overworld. Oh, that's right. He hasn't burned the area right around start, the Deadwoods, which is where their start is. So he's doing that now, but presumably he'll be in 8 pretty soon.
Yeah, Nochi's heading south here. If he's paying attention, he's got to start thinking about, especially when you have to go north from Zelda, you either want to start heading from the bottom to the top, or cutting across, back and forth across to find what doors would go north. And then, like, you stick your head in a door north. If it's not Zelda, you go back down to the row you were covering across. This far corner has been blocked off, so he's going to have to take a transport here. Yeah. Kingdahl looks like he's just trying to see if he can pick up a couple bombs real quick before he goes into this 8.
Yeah. Fury saying in chat, knows you should also be clearing rooms with black floors. That's because in the vanilla compass room is black in level 9, both first and second quest. Is that connected to the Ganon Zelda flag, or is that connected to the flag that affects compasses everywhere else? Because we know the ladder is not on, and I don't know the answer to that. Fury might. Okay, well, we know we've seen we've seen things that weren't in their vanilla drop room, so that it's still a good habit. It's still a good habit because it's so likely to roll in the sea, but it's not necessarily the case here.
Kingdahl is picking up his Triforce and heading towards his 9 exploration now, so he is starting to catch up a little bit. It's time to see if 9 can equalize this race.
Yeah, I mean, Nochi obviously.
And it cannot. That is game, set, and match for Nochibato. So give a GG in chat.
Yeah, Nochi
finishing
52-57 SRL time. Very nice.
Well played, Nochibato. Moving on to the next round. Our number 1 seed at random.
He will and we're joined in chat by Nochibato now. GG Nochi.
Thank you very much. With an unmuted mic this time.
So take us to the seed. Obviously the story of the seed was the bow hunt. What goes through your mind when you eliminate the possibilities of getting around that Goma?
Okay, I have to find the bow. Not a problem. Because the recorder was to beaten dungeons, new locations. So I knew what every single dungeon number was. So let's just go from 1, work my way up through 7. Wrong order to do it in.
Yeah. I mean, it's the sensible play. Do the small dungeons first. It just happened to be that the bow was in the last location you would check, and Kingdahl last location's the bow too. He has it now, and he has the Triforce out of 8. He has not seen the level 9 entrance, but he has, like you, he cleared every dungeon before level 7, and then got it out of 8. So, I mean, it would be quite a gamble to do 7 first in that situation.
Not to mention, I think I cleared out all but 2 rooms in 7.
Yeah, your 7 and your, I want to say your 5 as well were very trolly, where they were just like not giving you the second drop until the last second.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of 5. Oh, there's just 4 rooms down here I gotta check. Walk into the room. Patra! Not what I need on low health.
Yeah, this was definitely what I'd consider a puzzle seed, where it's just about figuring it out. The combat was very easy. You guys had sword beams. You guys had 0-hit enemies. So how, like, did you have any other ideas they were using to, like, maximize your routing?
Honestly, I was just dungeon rushing everything I could. Early on, I saw that it was dungeon heart shuffle, so no ease that way.
Yeah, I think if heart shuffle had been off, the seed would have been like 20 minutes shorter at least. So
Definitely.
yeah.
So you were able to get into 8 and get your Triforce out just before Kingdahl was entering, I want to say 6. He was still going into 6 on his way to 7 before he got there. So when you got into 9, what was your plan in 9?
Well, I do like the go up strategy. When there's only 1 door out of the first room, that's not helpful. So then I have to think, okay, when I find Ganon, I need to work my way back down here somehow, because why is there only 1 door?
Mm-hmm.
And the Atlas was really helpful for that, just so that I knew that there actually were rooms there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're not stuck on trying to get into a room that doesn't exist when you're on Shapes dungeons.
Where was 9, by the way? I've already forgotten.
9 is up on Death Mountain near the near that staircase that has the Lionos on it. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's nothing you see very. I've forgotten what it is in vanilla.
I believe it's
there's
one square northeast of 1Q6, but I didn't mark it down because it's. Oh, I found my dungeon finally. Run fast.
Right, you're just like, this is all I need. Screw the overworld mapping. I'm done with that. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So, Kingdahl now is checking the river bomb spots and working his way over to Forgotten Spot now. But it looks like he's going to go through Burn Row first.
Well, he just ran out of bombs, so continuing with the bomb spots is not an option. And since the answer is a bomb spot, that's a bit unfortunate.
So it looks like he's going to go up, and maybe he found a bomb.
And maybe he tracked a bomb shop around here somewhere. because he did pause, maybe like looking at notes or tracking. So. Oh no, he's trying to farm one. Yeah, I think that tree he burned, he's realizing that was like his last non-bomb location.
This should be the spot that he needs right here.
Yeah, now he's just trying to farm.
Did you guys notice if all the Triforces were in their rooms? Because I didn't.
Yes.
Some of them were, but I'm not sure if all of them were. I know the floor drops were not in boss rooms. I know that, but
of the ones we saw, 5 had it in their room, 1 had it in their room, and 8 had it in their room. So we're assuming that they are all on.
But I don't know. With shapes that might not matter for the item shuffle. I don't know, because there were definitely floor drops that were not in boss rooms.
Kingdahl getting very unlucky with these bomb drops. He's killed about 10 Lionos now and still haven't seen one. And looks like he's going to record her away to try and find a bomb shop instead. Yeah, giving you also that the kindness of level 2 to give you such great items there. That was also something that was a little bit trolly in this seed.
Yeah, it took me a second. It's like, oh, recorder. Good, I don't need to fight this Gleeok for anything. I'm done with Gleeoks. No. And then to find the book, it's like, that was both our starting items. Why am I in here again?
Looks like Kingdahl is back in 1. I wonder if he saw a bomb upgrade in 1 and is going to try and buy it.
He may just be looking for other enemies to farm.
Or he may have remembered. Yeah, he might have remembered that this is a Gorilla dungeon, so he's trying to farm the Gorillas. Yeah, he gets 4 bombs off those Gorillas, so that'll at least help him clear up some of Death Mountain. He probably wants 8 before he leaves here, though, if he can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he came in to buy the bomb upgrade.
Yeah. Good call. I'd forgotten all about that.
So he should find his 9 here. He's going to bomb this one hole, and then when he goes a screen to the left, he should find his 9.
Yeah, this is a 30 secret in vanilla. I know that mostly from the fall tournament, which had a static overworld, and the strat some people did was to check was to get the 30 up here and check the shop next door for what could be the candle if it was the rare, because there's a rare shop there too, which was an interesting play, I thought. Anyway, Kingdahl now in 9. Was Ganon required? Did the shutter open without? I mean,
I don't think she was required, but I'm not positive.
No, I mean it won't matter, because the seed, because you were kind of forced to dig everywhere, and you both found the silver arrows, and of course the seed forced you to get the bow to get into 9. And it's also, and by the way, it's a 0 HP Ganon, that's not going to slow him down much, so he should finish this out pretty soon. Just a matter of how efficiently he clears 9. Which I don't know about you, it can be pretty high variance for me.
Yeah.
How much level 9 you have to clear? I mean, it's either 4 rooms or it's 40. There's really no in between.
Kingdahl will be happy to finish the seed up here, and then he'll be moving on to the next round against the Alan Heffley. You will be facing off against Crimson Avix, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right, and that's gonna require a bit of luck and a whole lot of skill.
Oh, Kingdahl found the compass. So if Ganon's not required, he should find the way to Zelda.
So Zelda was right near Ganon, actually.
Oh, Ganon! Oh, he heard the roar. That's why he was stabbing at that.
So seeing that he's in Ganon's room, I wonder why he's going left here. He saw that Ganon's room is there. If he's thinking about it, he probably knows that he has to go in from the south. So,
Well, I mean, it's pretty quick either way. Just go around. So, worst case scenario, he has to outbay and come back in the other direction.
yep, he's actually finding a faster route than you were able to, Nochi. He was able to
Found a walk.
spent his key a little bit. He spent the key, the any key, a little bit earlier, and was able to transport into that spiral staircase that had the wall masters right before you got there. And yep, it's open.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill this Aquamentus just for fun.
Now he's trolling us.
Now he just doesn't want to. Just kinetic keyed that door with the Netty key. I don't know how.
He just wants to bring us some hockey entertainment for the people who are missing their sporting events.
Pushes the door. And
Get
we
your
have
GG's in chat for Kingdahl, finishing in second place. And that's our L time of 106.09.
that was a much kinder seed to, even with the trolley bow in 7. That was a much kinder seed to both of you, I feel.
Oh yeah, definitely. Although I'm glad the Bow and Silver's positions weren't reversed, because I would have been digging 9 for a while looking for them.
Well, you also got the red ring out of 6 before you found the bow, so you would have had some information that silvers were shuffled. I really feel like a big payoff point was that Kingdahl did not go 1 through 7. His first dungeon actually went back to 4. So you found that any key, and it let you go very quickly through those dungeons to just basically farm the best item you possibly could find each time.
Not sure if Kingdahl's joining us or.
Kingdahl's just getting his microphone set up, so he'll be in here in just a moment.
Right. So Nochi, you face Crimson Avex next. Your thoughts on that matchup?
I'm gonna be getting less sleep than I was these past couple of days.
Yeah, Crim is good.
I think another thing that really helped you out, Nochi, and we talked about this at the end of the race the other day. Your tracking has always been like a strong suit of yours. You've mentioned before that you'd rather take a minute to change your tracker than 5 minutes mistracking something, and I think that helped out a lot because you were able to figure out. You were able to quickly identify, even though we had question mark dungeons, which dungeon was which. You were just doing a very diligent job of paying attention, and it actually saved you a lot of time because Kingdahl dug out 2 thinking that it was his 1. So that saved you a good chunk of time. You're just very thorough, and you could see like the tracking as you were entering rooms and taking a second to mark stuff down. So I really feel like that helped you out a lot in this race.
I will say that my tracking helped, but that had nothing to do with the dungeon numbers. The dungeon numbers I knew of because of the recorder, because I made sure I blew to every single dungeon and I wrote them down as I got them. So I knew which one was 1. So I had 3 items. I knew which one was 8. So there was that. I knew which ones were large. I was just going up in size.
Kingdahl's in the waiting room. I don't have the authority to drag him in, so. Here he is. Now we're joined by Kingdahl in the booth. GG, Kingdahl.
GG on the Flute Fest 20.
Yeah, dude. Nochibato was just telling us he got all the dungeon numbers from the recorder just by the order he landed. I wonder, did you get mixed up on that because we saw you pushing blocks in level 2?
Yeah, I kind of started with blowing the flute, and I thought, ooh, 8 right away, cool, because it was big enough. So I thought, okay, that's 8. That's, but you gotta get a sword, and then I somehow fluted again, and I went somewhere else. I'm like, uh-oh, that's not 8. That's something else. It's probably 7 or something. And then I also started making numbers from the flute blows, but yeah, probably went the wrong order anyway.
Yeah, maybe you didn't pick up that this is a thing in shapes, but the dungeon palettes were all the first quest vanilla palettes, so you could tell that way as well.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell from one level, but yeah. If it was, I mean, if 8 can be green.
Yeah,
right.
Sure, but yeah, I don't mean just, but if you, I guess did you pick up on that by the time you were at any point? Because, like I said,
I probably did it when I left level 2 that had no stairs. Then I thought, okay, this is 2, and it's blue.
Yeah.
This is the kind of seed that you expect to take like 15 minutes. So you're hoping that the colors are not going to matter. But
yeah. I mean, if the bow block plus dungeon heart shuffle added like easily a half hour to
putting 9 in the Death Mountain also, because I cleared everything else.
Yeah, you were actually found 8 before Nochi did, but you were still confused on like what each dungeon was doing, so you were still trying to figure out like where everything was laid out. And Nochi was able to figure out that he was Goma blocked maybe about a minute or 2 before you were. So that started like the gap between the 2 of you, and it slowly but surely expanded from there.
Because when I was convinced that was 8, but I still marked the other dungeons I found, which was a plenty, like 4 of them. So I didn't know which one of them the flute didn't go to. So then I started fluting to see where I couldn't go, and that took like probably 3 minutes of confusing.
That explains. We saw you blowing the recorder around. That explains it. Yeah. So yeah.
Plus, there was a couple of flute spots that you couldn't. There was a couple of dungeons you couldn't access where you fluted to it. 6 you couldn't get in because neither of you had found bombs yet. So
fair, and it was a mixed quest overworld. So sometimes you try to open a second quest spot and it changes your recorder count, and
it was this.
But But yeah, I mean, and also the bow being the floor item in 7 and not close to the entrance.
You
I
had
mean,
to take the stairs to
yeah,
get it.
yeah. And that was the last level that both of you dug after finding everything else in the seed. So
When did you find 9? Was it before or after everything?
Both of you found 9 after you had completed the Triforce. So both of you got to the full Triforce and then had to like dig the overworld because, like you said, it was a very wise strategy to recorder to everything. There wasn't really a need to dig out the overworld if you knew you needed an item somewhere in the overworld. And the only spot on the overworld that it could ever have been that you hadn't already seen would have been White Sword Cave, which just happened to have the White Sword anyways. So
yeah, and it was a 0 HP.
Well, I was in
Go-
White
go.
Sword Cave. There was no sword there.
Not the vanilla White Sword cave, but the White Sword item was the White Sword.
Okay.
Which Nochibato picked up. It didn't actually matter because it was a 0 HP Ganon and Ganon wasn't required anyway, but he did get it. So.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I mean, the more items you find, the bigger chance that is that the bow is the White Sword item.
Yeah, we
That
were
would've
talking
been-
about that. We were talking about that on comms too. Like it's down to either it's 7 or it's White Sword item, and then Nochibato found the White Sword in a cave. So,
I was thinking like because you needed to know where 9 was, there was basically 2 spots you needed to find on the overworld map and 2 spots you needed to find in level 7. I'm like, I don't know which one is easier to dig out, the overworld or the 7.
You could flute to the levels, so obviously you're going to do the levels first.
yeah. So, I already talked to Nochi about he's facing Crimson Avix next. You go down to the bonus bracket, Kingdahl, and you have a match against the Alan Heffley, and then
The Alan Heffley, right?
Yes, the Alan Heffley, and if you win, you get to play either me or Lakatek. So I hope we get to face off.
I was on the path to Lack Attack, and then Lack Attack lost, and then I had to find another way to get to him.
Well, I'm hoping you don't get to him. I mean, surely you're rooting for me next week, right?
Yeah, you have a lot more knowledge in the rando, but I mean, if it's 0 HP, it's gonna
We'll
be
see what
close.
happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
If I was Lack, I would put on the +4 max plus -4.
Well, thanks to our runners Kingdahl and Nochibato for very entertaining race. Thanks to our restreamer CD and Prov